Your body is not tired from doing too much. Maybe it's tired because it's been protecting you for too long. Hi, I'm Dr. Asha. Thank you so much for joining me today. I want to talk today about what it takes whenever we're holding it together all the time. It's exhausting us. It is really causing us to deplete our reserves. This is where we start to feel more burnt out. We get overwhelmed. We are staying alert when it's draining our energy constantly. Holding it together really is something that we take pride in. And I know in our society, we take pride in it. And there is something about our resiliency to be able to manage everything that we're doing in our lives and everything. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if it's costing you your own physical well-being, then it's not a good thing. It's not a positive thing for your health and well-being. It's going to wreak havoc on your nervous system. Staying alert is draining you constantly. Overwhelm is a stress response. Overthinking is a stress response that we get used to. We get addicted to it, actually, and it becomes normalized. And when it becomes normalized, burnout is very close by. And burnout is not about laziness. It's about going too much over your limits, going way over your limits constantly, extending yourself, extending your energy, extending everything that is possible for you to do rather than kind of dosing it out and making it more balanced in your life. This is something that we need to realize, that sometimes it's not about the amount that we do, but it's the way that we're doing it. Our nervous system, it thrives to have rest. When it is responding to stress, the nervous system is responding to stress, we are going to continuously be in a stressful state. Our breath is going to be more shallow. We're going to have more tension in our bodies. We're going to have slept for 10 hours and still feel just as tired. That's one of the things that's a very big red flag. I have seen that many, many times with many patients and clients over the years, that one of the biggest red flags that they realize is that they're still tired after sleeping. That means that you've been actually in a sleep deficit for quite some time, and you have been going over your limit for quite some time. Now, when you relax, relaxation is not to be lazy. It's not a laziness. It's not a luxury. It's actually a necessity for our bodies. We need to relax our minds. We need to relax our bodies. The body needs us to actually relax in order to get rest and to stop protecting ourselves. We get into this protection mode because we are constantly burning on all cylinders. We're constantly going in our society. Yes, it is something that with all the developments, with everything that there is, we are constantly getting overstimulated with information, with the news, with our phones, with everything. And that's absolutely fine. But we've got to figure out where we need to have the balance. Where do we need to put the scales in place in order to have more balance? Because otherwise, our body is so busy worrying about and trying to protect ourselves, and stay in protection mode, that we're not actually living, and we're not actually thriving and being in the present moment and being able to be the most optimal versions of ourselves, the healthy version of ourselves on all levels: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. The way that this really relates, and somebody sent me a question about what I meant about spiritual health. I just want to just briefly say something about that, and I'll probably do a video about that. Spiritual health is about connection, feeling about connection. I'm not talking necessarily about religion, although religion is a part of it for a lot of people, but spiritual is more about being connected to something bigger than just ourselves, just feeling connected in this world, whether it's to nature, whether it's to, whatever works for you. That's what I mean by spirituality. That sense of connection helps you actually in the way that you relate to other people. So I just wanted to address that. I will make a video specifically about spiritual well-being and spiritual health, because I have received that question many times. But back to what we were talking about your body not being tired from doing, it's really about protection. So I want you to look at it. I want you to evaluate this week. three things, three areas of your life, or three things that are actually exhausting you, that you are not, for example, with your sleep. If you are going to bed at the same time at 10 o'clock at night, for example, and you're waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning and you are still exhausted or even more tired than when you went to bed, I want you to start making your sleep hygiene a priority. Whether that means that no screen time before you go to bed, a couple hours before you go to bed, no eating before you go to bed, a couple hours before you go to bed, no drinking water, whatever it is, figuring out a way that you can start creating a better sleep hygiene. But look in your life to see exactly what it is that you would like to work on. Where do you see that you are actually in protection mode rather than in thriving mode? And let's start to work there. If you have any questions about this, I'd love to help you on this. Drop a comment, contact us, go to our website, drashaprasad.com. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and share this with anybody that could be actually experiencing this tiredness and they can't figure out why.